an unbox and take a look at. I picked this up at Pax Unplugged. This is Lost Ruins of Arnak Expedition Leaders. It is the expansion for Lost Ruins of Arnak, so you do need the base game if you were to play this. This is from Czech Games Edition. Again, Lost Ruins of Arnak is a 1 to 4 player game for ages 12 and up. That typically is about 30 minutes per player, and this side of this just kind of reiterates that. Now, I also received a promo card while there, the saxophone, usually effective the silver side of up to 3 available those helpers on the supply board. I'm trying to remember if I had that promo or not. Can't remember if it was given to me before or not. But got a promo card, saxophone. But now let's really look at the expansion. Let's rip open the plastic and really dig into it now. So I've been excited about this expansion since probably Gen Con when I first learned about it, and I learned that it has asymmetric player powers. It really expands on the base game, but at that point they had not finalized artwork, so we couldn't even take pictures of it. We couldn't really do much with the information we received as content creators except just talk about it. But they finalized it, they released it, I bought it, now I have it. Let's take a look. So we got a deck of cards, we got a meeple, we got on one side it's kind of a very nice art piece of the bird temple, and then an advertisement on the back of that for some more of the Czech Games Edition games. We'll set that aside. And then we got our rule book. Let's take a look at this first. So it says, now the secrets will be revealed. Now the doors will be unlocked. For we have brought ourselves to Arnak, and our techniques are unlike those of any expedition that has come before. So it talks about what happens when you use this expansion. So you would add these to the base game, certain things, replace certain cards or certain pieces. You get actually a new research track for this expansion, which I can go ahead and pull out and show off. So you get a new research track, depending on the side of the board you're playing on, of course, which one you would use. So that changes up some of the resources you gain as you go up the track. That folds in half, fits in the expansion box quite easily, but this would actually just lay over the base board and when you add it to the base game. There's some setup notes, and then it starts talking about the expedition leaders that give each player their own unique abilities, and they can be used with or without the new research track. So there's a captain that gets this archaeologist token, meeple, a falconer, which is gonna have a falcon, an eagle tile, a baroness, a professor with a suitcase tile, an explorer with some snack tokens, and a mystic with random roll tokens and tint tiles. And then also it says that all the components from this expansion are marked with a symbol, so it'll be easy to divide them out as well. Then it starts to go through and talk about the different expedition leaders and who they are, and play and set your player setup depending on who you're playing as. And then it has a full page setup talking about each of the different leaders and the special rules that they have for themselves. And then it kind of talks about the new research tracks and the changes that makes. So now we have a monkey temple, the lizard temple, notes on specific cards, the red moon staff variant, which affects the cards that are discarded as it shifts around. So it used to be that it's one card that you discard essentially on each side of the staff, but now this is increasing the number of cards you're discarding. And then of course credits, new icons, explanations, and quick reminder tips. So you can keep this out on the table, just read the back of this as you're playing pretty easily. Now we got new cards. Small deck with a, see if I can find a quick release tear tab on it. Yep, right there. As long as I can get it to, there we go. Oh, this plastic is tearing easily on its own, even without that quick tear tab. So do be mindful of that when opening your own. It may tear into multiple pieces. So again, we have cards that match the back of the other ones. Looks like the special card. This belongs to one of the characters, so I'll set that aside. These might be character-specific style cards because they do have one of the leaders' symbols on it. So it appears at least some of these are the starting decks for some of the characters. So I'll separate these and what changes that might mean. Okay, we'll go over those first. So these appear to be like starting decks for the different leaders. So instead of just general funding and compass style cards, you're getting a variation of depending on who you're playing as and what you can do with them. Looks like it, depending on who you're playing as, it gives a lot of unique choices and can really have a unique play style of what you can do with it. Ooh, I like the tracking one. Like, if you discover a new site this turn, you may draw 2 of what is it? They're not called monsters. The guardians. And choose one. So you have a better choice of what you might be able to defeat, which is kind of cool to see. So each one's going to thrive differently on doing different things during the game, from guardians or searching and doing other things. Like this one is more about, okay, if you discover a new site this turn, you may draw 2 sites and choose one. So you have a little bit more say on what site goes there for the future. Pilot, ooh, it's a little bit, piloting is a little bit easier to travel by plane with that one. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Starting essentially with a fear card. Specialized fear card. Hidden fear special. If this card is exiled, gain a fear and compass. And then this last one, we had that special effect. The back is different because it's a reminder that it always comes back to your hand with that special effect. Oh, interesting. I need to stop yawning. I'm not that tired. Been a long week. Fun week, but long. Okay, so now we got some more item and other special cards. So let's look at these. We've got like a parachute. It gives you a compass. You may exile this card to place or work with a discount of 2 planes. Nice. So basically airdropping in. We've got a little monkey. 2 coins, and you may exile one of these style cards from the card row and refill it. Nice. To kind of help you rotate what's out in the market. The goat. Drawing a card, placed with the discount of a boot. Kind of a pack goat style. Receive money, and you may draw a card and discard it up to twice. Okay, not bad. Shovel. Buy an artifact card with a discount of 2 compasses and exile it after resolving its effect. Oh, that's nice. Kind of digging up a special card, but you're not forced to put it into your card deck, so it's easier to get to the other cards you already had. I could easily see using that, because even though this game has a deck building feature, you can't cycle cards as easily typically. So something like that you get a card effect, and you don't have to worry about the cycle is really cool. The crowbar. Exile a card from the card row and refill it, and then discount to get a card. Iron rations. Refresh one of your assistants or coin, and is that defeat? You may flip one of your used guardians face up to make its boon usable again. Interesting. Okay. So for someone who plays into the guardians a lot with their boons, that's a unique way to get boons back and use them again. The handlands, choose 1, 2, or roll 3 of these, depending on whether your search has advanced 2, 4, 7 rows. Ooh. So this card becomes more powerful the longer you have it, and the more you advance your magnifying glass. The fountain pen. First aid kit. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Either exile up to 2 or keep 1. Return the rest in the order. Okay. Landing net. Coins. And for the rest of this round, whenever you buy items, you may put it at the top of your deck. That's always helpful. Coffee, and with refreshing an assistant, that's not bad. Hammocks. Relocate a placed worker from one site to a tent site and activate it. Okay. Airship. The cat. Oh, okay. Because I think before there was already potentially a dog in the deck. I'd have to look it up and verify, but I think there's a dog before, so now adding it to cat. It's kind of cool. Toolbox. Use the effect of any item from the card row. If that item says to exile it, exile toolbox instead. Camera. Activate any one site in a row where you have placed a worker already. So kind of the camera gives you a line of sight activation or something else. The army belt. Choose 2 different options. Very versatile. I could see using that pretty easily. Okay, so now these artifact. We have the ruby candle holder. A Pathfinder's hat. The stone candle holder. Divine Riders. The cursed idol. Use any one of your idol slot effects printed on your board. Ooh. Okay. Guardian's Loot. Drawing a card and turning a Guardian back over to reactivate it to reuse its boon. The pedestal. Remove one of your slotted idols from the game to gain coins. Okay, it's not bad. Cape of Dawn. If there is no other card in your play area, then draw 2 cards. Otherwise, 3 coins. Okay. Friendship Medallion. In either order must be 2 different assistants. So activate assistants. Okay. Guardian's Fang. Choose one of the unused guardians you have open, put face down without getting its bone. A one-eyed statue. Rod of Division. Drawing cards. You may discard one of the drawn cards to exile and draw a coin. Stone Keep. Move 1 idol on your player board from a slot back to your supply crate. So that's nice because that gives you points back. Interesting effects on a lot of those. Just see what happens when you play with them. Okay, so now let's get to the rest of the box. I feel like this is super tilted. That feels better. Felt like a really weird angle was going on. Okay, so we got some new reference cards, and for each new character you have a reference card. So how to set them up, notes on their starting cards, their tokens, if any, and then explaining the new icons on the back of it. So you have the Explorer with the Professor with it set up. The Baroness, the Captain, the Mystic, and the Falconer. But I'm glad they made reference cards for each one, so you're not fighting over the rule book. These are practically falling out, which is kind of nice to see. We have player boards for the new this one's the Mystic. So it was on the board like this, where they actually made the punch board fold. As you can see, these are coming out pretty easily. Not taking too much pressure. And because they did this on a punch board, it uses the majority of it, so there's not a huge amount of waste, at least. Okay, I'm going to show you this, because I'm trying to pick up this next one, and it just basically punched itself, just lifting up the edge of the punch board. Which is interesting because the edges had 2 different sets. They're actually caught together. So they did a lot, like they cut it really thin and close. Kept tabs together so it was easy to fold these together. But look how minimal that waste is, which is nice to see. Before I go to this next board, let's look at the back of this. A really nice leader's artwork on the back of these. And then depending on, as you can see, some of these are not as, they don't need to be as big, so they centered that artwork and expanded it for that bigger board. Because like this one has some special effects for different things. So it expanded, had some extra spots over here, as opposed to this one is more like a standard player board in its size. But they also each get new artwork on the boards, as opposed to being the same artwork with just getting player colors. And then there's some different symbols on here, kind of explaining their special powers. And like new slots over here for that one. Like you can see that it gets the extra explorer piece, showing it here +1, then you can put a reminder spot as well. The Baroness. Kind of just reminder for slots under here for extra pieces. You get reminder of this, of that. Supply drop thing she gets. We got another punch board to pull out. Again, this is basically falling apart. Just how easily it punches itself. Now we got the Falconer, which I thought was really cool because you have this Falcon token that actually advances certain ways and does certain things depending on where it is and how you advance it. Okay, and then punching some more pieces. We have the rod variant. The new mystic staff. Instead of purple, it's this reddish hue. And as a reminder, if you look at it, it has that discard exile thing right here. It has a double arrow to show that it's 2 next to it as opposed to the standard 1. We have this suitcase token. We have some more assistant tiles to add into the game. These tokens for one of the leaders uses identity tokens on them. But these new assistants basically gain a coin or 2 boots travel on. Once it advances, it has the ability to gain fear on Ruby. We got a compass to a spear, a boot to be able to coin and tablet. The other side is tablet and an upgrade. Then we have a coin boot, upgrade to 3 coin. And now we got some more locations. One site with the double compass tablet. One site with a fear coin tablet and arrow. We got another board still to punch. Okay, so now we're getting some more. Okay, so another location. This one is a fear, draw a card, Ruby. We got another one, a double tablet with an upgrade. This next one is a 1 site with a spear upgrade. Now we got some level 2 sites. Coin, spear, upgrade, draw card. A fear, compass, spear, Ruby. And then coin, double tablet, and activate a tent site. And then we got some more guardians. We have, this is almost like a crustacean crab type thing where its shell almost looks like a temple. It's a game, you need a boat and a spear. Its boon is to discard a card and get a double tablet, it looks like. This looks like some weird Is that like almost like some weird mix between like an anteater dinosaur type thing? Go with like a millipede looking one, a giant hornet type thing, and then a weird bird dinosaur hybrid thing. Never know with Guardians what they'll look like. I've got some more idle tokens. Looks like 2 are gain fear and a spear, and a tablet, and a ability exile card. So that's everything in the box for this so far. Probably spend some time later trying to fit it all into the base game box as well. Because I know I'll probably play a lot with these leaders expansions now that I have them. But for now, I'll leave them separate. Put them back in this box. And then once I can add them together, I'll figure out the storage solution. Because this is quite a few different tokens and cards and whatnot that does not come with a organization system of any kind. That is pretty much the only complaint I can think of with Lost Ruins, and then now the Expedition Leaders, is the storage solution provided in the game itself is non-existent. I really should have had some blue ziplocs or an insert or something, because unfortunately this is all going to get mixed up if I was to even turn the box on one side. And the base game, I did do the same thing. I did throw everything into ziplocs. I do know there are several nice inserts you can 3D print or buy now for this game, but it's still one of those things that I'm surprised there was nothing provided for it. Really, that's my only complaint, because it has amazing artwork. I've enjoyed the base game from what I've learned and read about with this expansion and all these leaders that you can choose from, and how the asymmetric abilities allow you to do different things is really intriguing for myself and what I can do with that. And it really expands on not only playing with other people, but the solo ability of it, and that, okay, now it's not just I'm playing standard solo, I can play solo with a leader in one way, and so it just gives so much more variability to the game that I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it for a lot more gameplay now.